if you're gonna be able to live with yourself, to respect yourself, to make a clean conscience your pillow, you need to be able to speak the things you want to say. And you need to be able to stand up for them when the time comes. I remember being in 7th grade science class. Mr. Bowman, I'm sure that's where it was. Maybe it was 8th. The school changes screwed me up. And he drew on the board, he drew a shook, and he drew glass things, 3 of them. And on the one, he drew a thing like that. And on the next one, he drew a straight line across it. And on the next one, he went concave with a thing like that. And he says, if you've got milk, he's talking about hydraulics, you know. He's talking about water and magnetics and things like that. He said, you got a glass of milk, and they're all at the top. He said, which vision is this going to give you? The one that's like that, or the one that's straight across, or the one that's sucking down? And, yeah, what about this? And it was the other direction. Mine was the last one. The first one was the convex. He said, what about this? And people raised their hands. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it. And I'm thinking, and he said, what about this? The straight. He says, kids raised their hands. And I'm thinking, and back into my youth, at the old house on Pocat Road, when we would have to drink carnation powdered milk. It was always the worst when we couldn't get real milk. I'm a big milk drinker. I don't know if I told you this. Can't drink beer in your sleep. But I remember that carnation box. And this is the only reason I even knew it, I guess, but it was like, they always had that glass of milk on the front of the carnation box, that red with that white, a very powerful image, you know. Good advertising, good box. And that glass of milk there with the, and it made it look like it was authentic, I guess. But I realized, you know, that's how it sticks to it. It's not gonna suck down, it's unusual, you know, whatever. I remembered that box, and when he said, who thinks it's this one, and the convex, and I raised my hand, and I was the only one, and he looked at me and he said, are you sure? And I looked around, and I'm sitting there, the only one with my hand in the air, and I saw all these other kids looking at me like I was an asshole. If I wasn't stupid, I was an asshole. It was a 50-50 shot right at that point. And I remember thinking, you fuckers. I would rather stand here alone. I couldn't turn and cave for something like that. You think about it. They say you put a group of monkeys in a room on typewriters, and given enough time between them all, they'll type the words to all of Shakespeare's works or something like that. I would rather be standing here alone than sitting around with a bunch of you fucking monkeys. And I said, yes. And he said, you're right. And they all scowled. They just, who is this fucking asshole? I would rather stand alone. All those monkeys could have written Shakespeare's works given enough time, but Shakespeare already did it hundreds of years ago. And he wasn't sitting around with a bunch of fucking monkeys.